Every doll that I carve is really like a labor of love. It really takes something of your soul.
从我少年走到我中年，扮20年有40个角色。如果没有角色扮演的话，我就觉得人生好像少了一样东西了。不知不觉中，角色扮演真的已经成为了另一半。今天我扮演的角色是第5人格的守夜人。第5人格是一个蛮有名的手机游戏，我个人蛮喜欢。这个角色是一个16岁的青年人，然后他比较宁静，不太爱说话，就想我是跟这个角色有同感。他的造型很酷很特别，所以就决定扮这个角色。这个角色的妆容比较冷色调，我用了比较多灰色。就跟那个黑灰色的眼影反差，最特别的部分我觉得就是腮红，因为要做那个很红的腮红，我就用了口红来做那个腮红，才能把那个反差带出来。
1小时后，妆发造型完成。41岁的张万德摇身一变成手机游戏人物。
角色扮演和穿 costume 最大的不同就是你要融入那个角色。我设定了一个比较活泼俏皮的人设，他不会直接面对面看着人，他可能会头放低一点，然后是这样看着人，就有一种比较可爱、比较年轻的感觉。
游走在虚实间，扮演2次元角色，是万德过去20年来的一大人生乐趣。这些年，无论什么眼光，都挡不住他对角色扮演的热情。
20年前，公众对角色扮演的角色，他们可能不明白，就觉得为什么这些人浪费时间？天气这么热，打扮到这样，不热吗？那个costume穿大公共交通像 MRT， 人家一定指指点点。可是现在就很普通啊，我可以把服饰换好了。到现在穿角色扮演，人家就知道这个人要去参加一个活动，还是去拍一个 photoshoot。每次穿上了服饰，我也会去约摄影师去拍 photoshoot， 然后 post 上 Instagram。因为经常会去 photoshoot， 也开始学会了一些 photoshoot 的技巧，设计一些小心机，让照片看得更突出。
在杨珍妮的巧手下，大眼娃娃被改造成独一无二、身价高达3-4千新元的艺术品，要价不菲，却吸引全球粉丝买单。
I'll take a base doll. In my case, I tend to use Blythe dolls. I dismantle her completely. I carve her and paint her and just redo her completely so that she becomes custom, one-of-a-kind art piece. The people who collect my dolls are usually part of the toy or doll collector community or even the art community. The special thing about dolls is that there's this unbreakable connection to childhood. I mean, most of my collectors are adults. With your hectic adult life, you need to be able to do childhood things like you used to, you know, when you were more carefree and you knew how to just relax.
为了走入娃娃世界，珍妮开设了社媒账号。通过和娃娃社群的交流，她对娃娃的价值有更深的体会。
There's always some reason why they're attracted to a particular doll. It reminds them something in their past or family member who maybe has passed on or is no longer in their lives in some ways, or to commemorate something. like a birthday or an important anniversary. There's usually a sort of sweet reason to it, something that would always tie back to something important in their lives that they don't want to forget.
娃娃对于有缘人的意义重大，让珍妮更用心打造每件作品。她执着于细节，以生活经历为灵感，为娃娃注入生命。
I like to do it when there's a full sun. I want that brightness so that I can see any flaws. If there's no sun, I'll just wait. Sometimes it becomes a month or 2 months. It is an artwork. If you compromise, it's just not right. Sometimes the way she turns out does reflect what's going on in my personal life. Just recently, my old cats passed away, and it was just horrible for us. She was already 19. So when I was carving the doll at that time, there was a bit of sadness in her expression, but also kind of sweet and sort of wistful, like as though she's remembering happier memories.
每个精雕细琢后的娃娃，对珍妮来说都是心肝宝贝。
When she's complete, I would think of her like a little child. She's being sent out into the world. You just hope, that she'll be loved. And sometimes I'll hear from people who adopted a doll, maybe a decade ago or some years ago. They're still taking photos with her, or she's like, oh, today is her birthday. And it's just so great because, it means that she's valued. Yeah, they're just, really, really 开心.
Zorro from One Piece.
变身动漫人物参加主题活动，自信展现精心装扮，是角色扮演爱好者们热衷的一大乐事。张万德也乐在其中。
跟角色扮演的朋友，我们通常会一起去漫展啊。然后在漫展的时候就会 hang out， 一起和其他的 cosplayer 拍照，也去追我们喜欢的 cosplay 偶像。Dame 是一个蛮有名的 cosplayer， 从泰国来的。他是一个很友善的 cosplayer， 而且他扮的角色通常都蛮好看，就是很帅的角色，所以认为他是一个很好的 role model 的 cosplayer。
向角色扮演佼佼者看齐，每当有动漫活动，万德都会和朋友一起盛装赴会。16岁的叶顺杰和万德在2年前因同样热爱角色扮演而相识。今天他们说好扮演孙策、孙权2兄弟。
我今天决定扮孙权，我蛮喜欢代号元，一个以三国为背景的游戏。然后我蛮喜欢中国历史，喜欢关于战争，他们怎么 strategize fight 面下的角色。
今天我想扮孙策这个角色，因为我觉得他很强大，还有他是个英雄。
孙策这个角色是哥哥，孙权这个角色是弟弟。所以今天觉得很有趣的是，比我小的天来扮我的哥哥。
我挺高兴，我没有弟弟妹妹，现在在扮我的弟弟。我现在有人来保护了。
沉浸在角色扮演里，大方摆拍的万德，其实性格文静，不善交友。角色扮演让他打开心房。
求学的时候，其他的同学都可能喜欢玩足球，我对比较mainstream的东西不感兴趣。角色扮演这个嗜好算是一个subculture啦，不跟主流一起走，我觉得多多少少会被主流的人排斥吧。所以从小到大，我身旁的朋友也不是很多。那你可以说我有一颗叛逆的心吧，到现在还是有吧。毕竟很少像我这个年龄人会做角色扮演。我经常问我自己，为什么可以坚持这个嗜好这么久啊？可能的就是身旁有一般喜欢这个嗜好的朋友，然后我们就互相鼓励、互相支持。 Hey, you see a new wig?
Yeah, we do the fringe only.
Yeah, nice. Oh, nice.
I glue it.
早在18岁时，万德就和角色扮演结下不解之缘。
那个时候哈日，我也去参加那个日语卡拉 OK 比赛，就有一些人角色扮演，就觉得哇，这么厉害吗？竟然连服饰都可以自己做。
那一刻，万德迷上了角色扮演，转眼间，一个个角色陪伴他走过了人生不同阶段。
比较年轻的时候，因为我读很多漫画，就会做比较多漫画的角色。10岁底到30岁初的时候，看比较多美式的漫画，就扮比较多超级英雄。到现在，因为我开始玩比较多游戏，就开始出比较多游戏的角色。角色扮演跟我的人生每个里程碑息息相关，从我少年走到我中年。如果没有角色扮演的话，我就觉得人生好像少了一样东西咯。这个 cosplay 角色扮演的嗜好，在不知不觉中真的已经成为了另一半。
年近半百，依然童心未泯。对杨珍妮来说，童真是快乐的源泉，也是她最新娃娃艺术的原因。
As we grow up, sometimes we give up those toys. But for me, I just holding on to that part of my childhood, the fun-loving part of me, or the more carefree part of me, the part that is more imaginative and playful and happy. That's the special part about dolls and toys that I really enjoy.
过去10年，珍妮无师自通，改造过无数大眼娃娃。一段奇妙缘分，让这个金发碧眼的娃娃留在了珍妮的生命里。
So usually all my dolls are made for adoption. It's very rare that that happens. And one of the dolls that I did decide to keep, her name is Clementine. And then some people did ask about adopting her. And then I just looked at her, something about her just sort of spoke to me like that. She can look happy or sad. It's a very interesting thing about her. So I quickly pulled her out of the shop and like, just no.
之后，珍妮为她一手打造新人生，并给她一个家。
She's a very antique kind of girl. She's very Victorian. I've chosen Victorian or antique era for Clem is just because that's my personal favorite era. For Clem, she's a unique size. It's hard to find props and miniatures that fit her world or that can build her home. And so I end up having to make them.
有了灵魂，有了家 ，Clementine 从此成为珍妮虚拟世界里的主角，也成为她跳脱现实世界的出口。
She gets to do all those things that I don't get to do, right? Because I'm an adult and I'm in the real world and I'm a parent and whatever. All these adult responsible me, I don't get to do all those things. And I don't get to have my pet crocodile. I don't get to carry my bears with me everywhere I go or have antique parties and everything. But she gets to do all those things. So I get to let her do all those things and I will enjoy all those things through her. I started gradually using her in a lot of my photo shoots, right? And somehow she just evolved to somehow represent me.
如今 ，Clementine 宛如珍妮的分身。有一次，珍妮带着 Clementine 外出，却发生了意外，更让她意识到娃娃的重要性。
Just recently, we went on a staycation, so Clem went too. And so I was trying to do little photo shoots of her, but I was with my kids too. So I got distracted by my kids when it was all this little ruckus going on. And I packed her up and I left behind her bag and her book. This was probably like one of the very, very rare times that I lost something of hers. And then I started thinking, gosh, you know, if I ever lost Clem like that, it would be awful, you know, it'd be like losing some treasured thing of yours, you know.
大眼娃娃让杨珍妮和志趣相投的陌生人建立起友谊。
And I made a new clothes for her.
哎呦，这个很美啊，这个。
这天，他和一位铁粉相约来个娃娃的聚会。
Locally, we do have quite a big doll community, and they do regularly meet up. And sometimes I'll meet my collectors there, and they would bring the doll that I had made, right? There's a sort of almost a family feeling about the whole thing, you know, it's like everyone with each other's kids kind of thing. It's really a fun thing.
49岁的全职妈妈陈怡燕3年前偶然接触娃娃世界，最初是被娃娃的可爱所吸引，后来却被娃娃世界的纯真感染，情绪得到释放。
刚刚开始收集娃娃，正好是处于这个COVID-19， 对未来，对很多拥有的东西都不是很确定，所以当我沉浸在这个娃娃的世界里面以后，我会发现我的心很平静了。我把那些闲暇的时间都会去做到给娃娃打扮啊，我会跟他讲话，哎，今天过得怎么样啊？啊，很高兴哦。然后今天妈妈会给你做一件好看的衣服从原来的那种焦虑感、不确定感、不安全感，到可以沉下心来，好好的去做一件事情。这个我就是觉得是娃娃的魔力世界。I also bring some gifts for Clementine.
For Clem?
Yeah, this one.
You just feel so happy, you know, just to see, oh, you know, my doll is part of this world, is part of this family. They love her and they enjoy doing stuff with her.
闲暇时，他是虚拟人物的扮演者；平日里，则是一本正经的上班族。对于两面截然不同的自己，张万德从不遮掩。
所以我第一天上班的时候，我已经跟我的上司说，这个是我的嗜好。如果你在网上看到我的照片，不要吓到。我的上司、我的老板也很支持，甚至在我公司的一场活动上，我以角色扮演的身份出席，把爱好带进工作当中，我觉得是一个很神奇的东西。
就连工作都离不开角色扮演。万德对另一半的认真，背后是点点滴滴的心血。
在网上买到假发，可是不适合我的脸，我还是必须把它修短了。在网上买到costume 跟服饰了，可是毕竟是现成的，可能纽扣来的时候也没有缝得那么好，直接跟它把它缝好。最夸张的我觉得啦，就是直接买一件衣服，然后整件衣服侧开来看人家怎么做那个衣服，再跟它缝回去。道具虽然网上买得到，可是毕竟不便宜，所以小道具的话，有时会自己尽量亲力亲为自己做。
20年了，万德对角色扮演的热忱不曾熄灭，这也让他领悟出自己的人生信念。
很多东西没有人会教你，可能教你也是教你一半，你自己要去摸索。所以角色扮演教会了我，就是不怕去撞墙、去撞钉子，迟早有一天你会做到你该做的东西。
珍妮对娃娃的热爱则延伸到了书中世界。2年前，珍妮以她的分身娃娃 Clementine 为署名，用娃娃的视角写了一本围绕着娃娃世界的小说。
She had become so connected to me, you know, especially on social media. You know, my followers are so used to seeing us as like one sort of being. I myself, I'm pretty shy and quite introverted, so it was sort of more natural for me to put her name on the cover than mine. Yeah.
拥抱心中所爱，人生丰富多彩。
I don't think there's another sort of work I could have brought this much joy, which can combine art and then friendships. You know, I hope that I can keep on creating, keep on writing, to just keep bringing that sort of happiness, you know, that sort of joy to others, to be able to keep doing that. I mean, I think it's like a real privilege. Yeah.
Let's give them a big round of applause for being on stage and showing.
我都会选这种比较偏年轻的角色来扮演。我觉得很多人到了中年就会觉得人生开始没有那么像年轻的时候充满了梦想和想法了，因为可能人生到了中年有很多责任。可是我觉得每个人都应该有一颗年轻的心，因为那个是一个很纯真、很爱学习的心。有了这颗心态，对人生的展望的道路会非常积极，会很正能量的。我希望从角色扮演这个嗜好，可以让我一直有一个年轻的心来面对人生的每一个问题。我觉得我会一直继续这个角色扮演的嗜好，直到有一天我可能走不动为止吧。